Okay, let's see here. First we're going to get this Nextstation, an entry-level Nextstation up and running. We're going to replace the battery, and then we're going to get it to boot with the internal hard drive and see what's on it. So we're already taking the screw off. To the back there, so let's pop the case open. And let me grab the battery here. These are the new batteries I just got. Here's what the thing looks like on the inside there. It's got a lot of memory. I'm going to be popping some of that out. For the cube. Let's see if I can put this back where I put it. There's the battery. Let's put that guy in there. Just like this. Okay, we have a hard drive properly installed, full suite of memory. Scoot this out a little bit. Put the case back on. Okay. Get the monitor. Let's put that back up here. We'll hook it up. Just plug in the mouse. Monitor. Oh, I know. Sorry. Yep. And the mouse goes here. And then we've got a super proprietary cable. Here to the back of the computer. Oops, gotta get my SGM monitor out of the way here. There we go. Plug in the power. It's all good. This is a funny computer. You plug the power into the Nextstation, and power for the monitor is driven through the computer into the monitor. So there's not a separate power connector for the monitor. Okay, should be good there. Now we just need network. Let's see if this thing's actually gonna have a network capability. Yep, it does. Plug in network just in case it needs it. Okay. Now the way you turn this thing on is you hit this little button right here. Any bets? There's something. Let's see if it boots at all. Oh, there we go. I have a post screen. And it's loading from network, which is expected because we just replaced the battery. And by default, it loads from network if it's got a new configuration. So, I think if we go like this, command, where's that key command here? Yeah, there we go. Command and then that tilde. That'll drop us into the ROM monitor, which you can kind of see there. And then now what we've got to do is tell it to boot from the SCSI drive. So to do that, we type in, I'm reading off the internet here. P. Alright, here we go. Changes to SD, I'm pretty sure. SD, yep. The rest of the things, items are defaults, except for verbose test mode. No, boot array. Alright, now I think we type boot. See what happens. Boot was not it. It's not a Solaris machine, I guess. Hit the power button. Really power down? Yes. Give it a moment. Power it on. Loading from disk, that's encouraging. The disk is starting up finally. This might be the last time it ever boots. We'll have a replacement SD card here for it, surely. Oh, that doesn't sound so hot. I think the drive is dead. That is a bit of a bummer. But that's what, probably 25, 30 years old now. 25 years old. Alright, let's go back into the PROM. We can, yeah, okay. It tells us memory size is 20 megabytes. Alright, that's encouraging. So what we're going to do is... Oh, look at this. It's a 68040. This is a Nextstation Turbo. It doesn't say that on the case. That's messed up. Alright. Well, let's pop the drive out and we'll put in the SCSI adapter, or the SCSI2SD adapter, and see if that boots any better. Power down, yes. Looks like I can do this over here. Like so. Without too much problem. Got the off here. So it's a good idea to unplug the power while we're goofing around with this stuff. And all we'll do is, so this thing's not really attached. Look at that big fat 3 1/4 inch drive there. Regular height, or half height, I guess. That's what they call that. Alright. So then let's see if we can take this. Just pop out the power. Pop out the SCSI cable here. There we go. It's got a cool sled there. Clearly I've been messing with it in the past. So I got 2 screws. But these 2 lock into the side of the chassis and screw down with that screw. So let me replace. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to grab my SCSI2. That's the adapter. This is the here's the adapter. Can this even focus what's going on here? Seem to be focusing too hard. Let's see how we change that. I'm going to hit pause here for a moment. Yeah, I figured out how to get the autofocus working on this thing. So here's the SCSI2SD card. Oops. It's not the most clever autofocus, is it? There we go. This is the new model. Up here on the top is the SD card. I've already put a NeXTSTEP 3.3 image on there. So now we just got to install it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do that. Ooh. So we power. This little cable here. Plug this guy in here. And this guy here. And then put the power back in. And the power here. There we go. Now we just need to make sure this is not going to short out anything. So we'll do it's a little ghetto, but that'll probably work. And then, no, I'm not going to plug it back in. I'm not going to put the top back on. I'm just going to plug it in and let it roll. Yep. Alright. Any bets? Power on. Okay. Loading from disk. Oh, got a spinning disk looking thing. Oh, my SD card thing is flashing. That was flashing. Oh, there it is. It's booting up. Oh, that's excellent. All right, so that is a copy, a DD copy on an OS X system of the original SD card, of the original image I put on the original SD card. So now I know that my image copying system works. So what I can do is take that, it's because, oops, oh no. No response from network configuration. Server, oh that's no good. All right, well, screw it. Control C to continue. Is my network plugged in? Yeah. All right. Boots up swimmingly. Still so far so good. The light on my SD card is going crazy. And we have a booted NeXTSTEP system. Well, that's exciting. Alright. So here's a plan. What I'm going to do is shut this thing down, remove the SCSI drive, pop out half the memory, and see what I have left. I have 20 megabytes. So pop out half of it, 4 sticks, see what I have. Then I'll know what the denominations of the individual SCSI sticks are. Then, oh, why don't I do that right now? Then we'll shut everything down, put it away, and take down the next cube. Okay, so I'm going to hit... oh, I don't have... This is my mouse ball. I had a problem where I left mouse balls in the mouse for too long. They would rust the rollers, which is no good. Oops, no, this is for the sun. Sorry, oops, this is the wrong mouse ball. Sun decided that they were that they needed custom-sized mouse balls. Whatever. So I'll go ahead and put this in here. There we go, that's better. Log out. Power off. Sounds good. Ooh, it's a fast little machine too. That's cool. Alright, the machine is powered off. Now what we'll do is get you a little closer here. So you can see we got 8 banks of memory there. Let me see here. I don't know which one is bank 0 and which one's bank 1. So I'm going to pause it here and we'll figure that out. Okay, no help on which bank is bank 1. So what we'll do is we'll just pop these things out of here if I can. Alright, well that is really unpleasant getting those things out of there. The way you get them out of there is use a little screwdriver like this. See if we can autofocus. Well, you get the idea. Tiny little Phillips in there. You have to cram it in these tiny little holes and pry up. It's not fun. Okay, well, I got the first bank out. 4 remaining. Let's plug the power back in. Alright, let's see if it still boots. Alright, so far so good. And then we'll see how much memory there is. Now, we'll go into the PROM. There we go. Now it says 16 megabytes of memory. So what I took out must be 4 1 megabyte SIMs. And what's in there is the good stuff for 4 megabyte SIMs. So what I want to do is pop that memory out. And then put this guy away, and then we'll pull down the next cube. Okay, we got the memory out. There it is right there. So now we got some work to do. Let's get the cube down here. There it is. Pretty good nick. Not a lot of scratches. That's an entry level, not entry level, it's the first model of cube. So it's got some, doesn't have an Ethernet RJ45 port on the back, it just has a BNC, which is kind of unfortunate. But I have ways of working around that. So here's the back of it. You can see it too looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is pop this out, plug a new battery in, plug in our SCSI2SD converter and SD card. And our new memory. And then, actually, no, speaking of the memory, let's figure out what we have first before we pop this thing open. So what we'll do is plug it in, turn it on, see what kind of memory we have in there. And then we'll turn it off. So this actually hooks up the same way as the Nextstation there. It's got this super proprietary cable that gets plugged in right here, I think. Yeah, right here. Like this. There we go. Can't plug in network, and keyboard and mouse plugged into the monitor. Plug in power here. Lights flash, that's good. Alright, so put this over here. This guy over here. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Too fast. Ooh, makes a little more noise. Now, this one doesn't have a battery in it, so it's probably going to be messed up as well. In terms of boot options. Actually, come to think of it, it doesn't have a battery in it. So it may not boot at all. So why don't we... Wait a second. Yeah, okay, it's not booting. Oh, it is booting. Oof. How come the display is not turning on? Let's make sure this is plugged in all the way. Ah, there we go. Done. Checking for network. Oop, away. Go away for good. Oh, maybe this is not loading all the way. Oh, no, that's what the problem is right there. There we go. Oh, I'm surprised that worked at all. That's amazing. The cable on the back of the monitor was unplugged. Starting system services. That's encouraging. So we have no idea how much memory is in there. Local services, that's good. So this is a 68030 processor, so it's going to be a bit slower. Autofocus is having a hard time today. Yes. Zoom it out, put it in there. Oh, there we go. Complete operating system. That's good. I if this thing can tell us how much memory we have. I have no idea how. Boy, this monitor looks really great. I don't think I looked out on that one. Alright, info. Info panel. That sounds good. Hard drive still works on that. This guy, that's encouraging. Eight measly megabytes of memory. Okay, so I'm glad I pulled the memory out of that other machine. So we're going to bump this up to 20. I think. That should probably be good enough. 20 megabytes. And I might check my other computer, see if there's more memory in it. Because I want this thing to be maxed out. You know, I think I might stick with just 20. That should probably be okay. So, okay, cool. So this thing is booting just fine. Now what I'll do is shut her down and take it apart, put a new battery in there, put a new memory, and reboot. So with that, I'll be right back. Alright, let's take this thing apart here. First we're going to unplug it. We've already unplugged it from the monitor. There we go. Alright, let's do that. Got some custom hex screws there. Let's see, toolkit. Let's see here. These look pretty good here. Nope, too small. Perfect. I'm going to take off the back cover here. Those are captive screws. What we're going to do now is place the memory and the battery and install my SD card. Right, so the back panel comes off like so. Oops. And there is a wire attached to a fan there. Let's take that off. There we go. All right, now you can see, or maybe you can't see. Yeah, so here we go. Here's the inside. Power supply, motherboard, magneto optical drive, and the hard drive up there. So let's see what we got here. think we'll do the back plane first, not back plane, the motherboard plane here first. This is why I don't want to do this one more time. The scuzzy plastic handle thing there is starting to fail, so I think this is the last time I want to open this thing. Oops. You know, and then it's kind of sketchy to get. The memory scrapes against the side of the chassis there. That's no good. There we go. Wow. All right. Oh, got a battery in there already. That's an old one, so we're going to toss that one. So let's get a good look at that motherboard. Wow, cool. It's got 16. So when we booted it up, it had 8 megabytes of memory. So it must be those 8. And I've got another. Got the 16 here. So let's put that in. Alright, I'm going to pause this while I put this in. Alright. Finally got the memory in. Hopefully that'll give me, so there's 8 here, 16 here. Hopefully that'll give me 24 megabytes of memory. Let's pop the battery out. Maybe I'll get a better screwdriver. Let's see. Oh no, doesn't look like, looks like I'm missing a chip. There we go. Pop the old battery on. Grab another one from my DigiKey here. Drop that one right in there. There we go. Oh, here's the ROMs. It's got release 1.0 of the ROMs. Let's see if we can focus on that. And let's see what else we got here. Where's our CPU? M68030, looks like right there. And we seem to have an empty socket there. That's not encouraging. Alright, so that's all we want to do there. Why don't we slide that motherboard in? Is there anything else we want to take a look at? No, I think that's it. Let's put this. Let's slide the motherboard back in, and then we'll install the hard drive, or the SCSI2SD converter. So what do we got? We got new memory installed. We got a new battery. I hope to not have to open this again, because it is awfully fragile. Tell you what, yeah, why don't we slide it over here just for fun for right now while we install the SCSI drive. Alright, that's it. Now we're going to get the old SCSI drive out of here. If I recall, we have to pop this center rig out. I thought there was a screw that held it in. Oh, no, right down here. There's 2. There we go. There's 2 hex screws down here. Oops, kind of crooked, aren't we? There we go. Yeah. Alright, there's 2 screws down here. So let's open. Take these guys out. And that will remove. You can see why I only want to do this one more time, because it's a lot of work, and for an old machine, you don't want to do this every day. The center center rig should come out. Yeah, there we go. Center module here with the power supply magneto-optical disc, which of course I'm sure does not work anymore, and the hard drive. Okay, now we can push the case back a little bit. Alright, now here we have the inside of the center console here. So now we gotta get this drive out. So there's screws here, standard screws on the side of it. This thing to get the hard drive, that secures the hard drive, so we'll pop that out. Alright, there we go. Oops. Okay, yeah. Alright, so oh, look at this. So it's got a nice. Alright, so the hard drive cable is secured in there nicely with some wraps that lead out to here. Is this magneto-optical thing plugged in, or what's up with that? Oh yeah, so it's plugged in with this strange cable, so we'll just leave that alone. Let's see, we'll unplug the next hard drive. We got power right here. There we go. See, I disconnected the SCSI cable and the power cable for the drive. And we'll slide that right out the front. There we go. We got an old. Clearly, I've been in here before. Thought I was dead, but it was actually the computer wouldn't boot off of it until I programmed it to actually boot off of it. It's an old Connor drive. CFA 340S or something. Of course, now it doesn't focus. Money silly thing. Focus. Is this thing focusing or what? No? Yeah. I'm going to pause it here and make sure we're focusing. Alright. Well, we should be focusing. Let's see if it works this time. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's the old drive. So now I'm going to pop. So this has got like just standard sleds. Standard steel sleds on the side of the drive. So what I'm going to do is pause the video and install my SCSI2SD adapter on these on the sled. Alrighty, so I've got my SCSI2SD card installed in the same bracket. Let's see if you can see that. There we go. Nicely installed there. So again, slide it in from the front. All the way to where it was installed. Let's see, what was installed? Right about there, I'd say. A little bit further. Is there a obvious hard drive mounting hole here? So there we go. Yeah, that's good enough right there. Alrighty. So now we'll reinstall the screws here. Two. Oops. this tight. There we go. Alright, oopsie. Scrape my table there. Okay. That seems to be in there. Hopefully you can see what's going on. So if we get the cable out of the way, so now you can kind of see it in there. Yeah. Alright. So now let's plug it in. We've already got a power connector there. Make sure we can see that. I'll slide that into place. I'm going to put my hand right here just to support it. It's going to go upside down, I guess. There we go. And then this guy. Oops, daisy. Is this thing keyed right? Yeah. Goes in there. There we go. One, two. Good. All right. Our SCSI card is installed. The SCSI2SD card is installed there. I think it is good to go. All right. I scraped up my table. That's a bummer. All right. Does all that look good? Yeah, I think so. Zoom back out here a little bit. Now let's. Is that all we need to do? I think that's all we need to do. We just need to plug it back together. Get this guy out here. This guy. All right. Now that's the tricky part of sliding this guy back in. Yep. You see that? Yep. Good. Slide all the way back in. There we go. Reinstall the screws in place. And now we have to put the motherboard back where it belongs. Oops. Oops, there we go. Nice solid fit. Now we got to put this guy back in. Now this is where it gets a little dodgy here. I'll take this out. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm trying to decide if I want to put the last 4 megabytes in here. I don't think I will. I'll just keep it the way it is. So we should have, what did I say, 24 megabytes in here. So now this is where the case gets in the way of the memory. Slide those all in. Okay, now you can only slide it in halfway, because then you have to plug in the cables. See if I can get a good view of that for you. Sorry for the big lamp there. That's the best way to get some light on this. Okay. So now we gotta put these cables in before we slide it the rest of the way in. So here's the SCSI cable. I'll put that in there. You can see why I don't like popping this thing open. It's kind of fragile and difficult. Okay, now this is the cable to the magneto optical, and I had that disconnected. But you know, just for fun, I'm going to plug it in. See what happens. All right. So now we slide this the rest of the way in. Oh, by the way, so this is the first generation NeXT Cube, and it's a 68030 model. And the challenge with this is there is no RJ45 Ethernet connector. There's just a single BNC connector. Luckily, I've got an adapter which is upstairs, which I'll have to fetch later. But and I've got all the cabling, so I can get it on the internet. But what that means is I've got to have this special BNC cable and a special hub that'll support that. It's no big deal, but it's another piece of junk you have to have lying around. Okay, so that's all in. Alright, I got plugged in further, and it should be attached to the back plane there. Now, let's put the back on. That's massive fan. Of course, gotta remember to plug this thing back in. Good. There we go. Let's put it in. Like installing tires, you do the corners first. You get an even pressure on it. And that's it. Alright, let's plug this thing in, see if it works. So let's see here, we'll get our screwdrivers out of the way. Move this guy over, plug in our display and our keyboard and monitor. Here, right. Oh. Give it some power. Lights blink, that's good. See how we're doing. Alright. Push that over there. Push this over here. Keyboard, mouse here. Turn this a little bit. Make sure that's plugged in. Alright. Zoom out here a little bit. Plug it in. Power it on. See what it looks like. Oh. Sorry for the noise. Sounds like someone's taking a shower upstairs. Oh, here we are. We're booting. Pleasant lack of hard drive noise. Just loading from disk. Go, 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 go. Oh, now the disk thing is spinning. Disk icon. That's good. Still loading. There's the NeXTSTEP boot screen. Nice and quiet. No clicking. Configuring network. That's probably not going to go so well. Oh, checking system files. Starting NeXT services. It's fairly fast too. I like that. Seems to be a little bit snappier than the old. What did we decide this was? This was an old Connor 340 gigabyte or megabyte hard drive. What a nightmare. All right. Spinning disk. There you have it. Oh, almost there. Still thinking. Still loading. Got a spinning disk. Oh, loading up apps. Me. Whatever that is. All right. There you have it. New battery. More memory. Let's see if we have more memory. Info panel. Alright, maybe not the fastest hard drive in the world. And it says 24 megabytes. Ooh, disk size 2 gigabytes versus the measly. See if I can get this over here. You see that? 24 megabytes of RAM, 2 gigabytes of hard drive space. versus the measly 340 we had before. So, of course, I've got a 8 gigabyte SD card in there, but this thing won't boot with more than 2 gigabytes. And in fact, by default, the SCSI2SD card, per the documentation you'll find up on the website, it won't boot unless you put in a custom configuration for the hard drive geometry. By default, it's something crazy. And when you try and format the drive in NeXT, it says, oh, this is not a real drive, and it fails. So you have to put in some more reasonable hard drive geometry via the firmware modification process, and then everything works fine. So yeah, so I've got system release 3.3, so it's NextOS 3.3, 68030, 24 megs of RAM, and a 2 gigabyte hard drive. So I think that will conclude this video. Alright, that was a success, wasn't it? That's exciting. Brought back an original early edition NeXT back to life. Should be good for the next 20 years. Thanks. Just one more thing. So I got this thing going. Why don't we look at some of the default apps that are installed in here. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit. And I mean, they're nothing fabulous, but you know, for historical reasons, they're kind of fun. There we go. I'll zoom in there a little bit. So I found the demos folder of NeXTOS 3.3. We got the Boink Out app. Make sure we can see that. Takes a while to load. There we go. Oh, there we go. We're playing. Oof. No. Ah. I suck at this game, but you should see me at Call of Duty. There we go. So that'll, in between reinventing the World Wide Web on my next cube, this will keep me busy. Oh, look at that. Across the top there. Oh, awesome. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's see if I can do that again. Oh, that's totally awesome. Alright. Enough of that. I'm going to quit over here on this silly menu. And then we've got this draw app over here. Let's see what that does. Wait a while, go get a cup of coffee. Talk about Donald Trump by the water cooler. Okay, oh, it's done. Alright, so we've got a classic drawing program here. It looks like I can draw circles with this guy, so I'll click on that one. Whoa! Mouse response is a bit slow there, but hey, look, you can draw circles. Oh, now the mouse response is a little bit faster. That's good. Here you can draw lines. There you go. Squiggly lines. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. And polygons of some sort. Oh, look at that. And, yeah. Alright, so that's enough of that one. Quit. And quit anyway. I don't want to save this document. Let's see what this sound app does. This is all loading off my SCSI2SD adapter. Sound. Alright, so it looks like some sort of sound recording or something. Or if there's any default files we can open and play. It takes a while. This will open up the open dialog. Nope, nothing to play there. Okay, so that's all that comes with the default NeXTSTEP 3.3 install. Let's see what's in the library. Anything interesting there? Keep in mind, I just installed this. All I did was a base install. I didn't play with it at all. List titles. Ooh. A bunch of unimpressive stuff. Bookshelves librarian. That sounds really boring. Alright. Well, I guess there's nothing there. Okay, so I'll figure out how to do the rest of the stuff and maybe I'll do another video later. Thanks for watching.